So from the SEC, the All-State Sugar Bowl, Ryan Mallett, that big arm, third in the nation in passing are the Hogs of Bob Petrino, and they take on Ohio State. This is a compelling matchup. I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to this game, I think, as much as any you'll see in the postseason, because I personally think if we had a playoff, you wouldn't want any part of the Hogs right now.
South Carolina, Mississippi State, LSU, down the backstretch, they won those games. I mean, this is a hot football team. Ryan Mallett, 30 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. They've got a ground game with Niall Davis at almost 100 per game, and it's 6.6 a clip. So this is a solid football team.
And that arm is legendary, that big arm that he has. But he's going to be challenged by that Buckeye defense. It's going to be interesting to see an SEC offense and their speed and that Big Ten defense. If they can get it going, it's going to be a great clash to find out, because those Buckeyes on defense, they've been spectacular from the beginning of the season right on through the end. They've been extremely consistent.
Yeah, I kept saying it all year. You kept saying Wisconsin, but here,
Wisconsin.
I love Ohio State. I'll tell you, this is another SEC Big Ten matchup. But I think Ohio State could play for the national championship. I think they're that good. Now, granted, Oregon and Auburn deserve there. But what I'm saying, I think Ohio State's a great football team, and they're capable of beating anybody on a given day.
Well, if they could play for the national championship, so could Stanford, so could TCU.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen a bowl season line up where we have as many good matchups between teams that really might be as good as any in the country.
It's very balanced year. Obviously, clear-cut who's playing for the national championship. But Jesse, this is a very compelling and intriguing matchup.
It is, and I agree, Reese, with what you said earlier. Nobody wants to play them right now. They've won 6 in a row since losing to Auburn. You guys talked about Ryan Mallett. He can make throws that 95% of the quarterbacks in the National Football League cannot make. And Craig, you mentioned Niall Davis. He has 13 touchdowns now in his last 6 games. You look at Arkansas's defense, they're very athletic. They can get after the quarterback. They held LSU to only 100 rushing yards just a few weeks back, and LSU likes to line up with a tight end, a fullback on the field, try to pound the football at you a little bit. Well, Ohio State's going to try to do the same thing with Boom Herron, Brandon Sain. Of course, whenever you talk Ohio State, the key is containing Terrell Pryor and not allowing him to move the chains on third down. Since the start of last season, no player has had more runs of 15 yards or more on third down than Terrell Pryor. After Cam Newton, he's the best quarterback in the country, moving the sticks with his legs. Does Arkansas have the athleticism to contain Terrell Pryor? Remember, Ohio State, a team historically that's had issues with SEC competition in these big bowl games against Florida and LSU in national championship games.
Yeah, in fact, Jesse, they're 0-8 in bowl games all the time in the SEC. You, in fact, from South Carolina, beat them a couple times. But are they the... How many? That's what I said, a couple of times.
Okay.
A couple's 2. Everybody's getting testy lately. I think Jesse brings up a good point. Some of the teams that Ohio State has lost to in bowl games, big-time, nasty defenses at LSU and Florida. Arkansas is very good offensively, and it won't change the fact that they win the game to get a victory over an SEC team. But does Arkansas fit the same profile as those SEC teams that have beaten Ohio State in the past?
I think with speed and athleticism, I mean, Arkansas, they can still, just because they throw the ball doesn't mean that they're not physical. They're a really physical football team, running the ball, putting pressure on you, and they play defense as well. I think the difference in this game, and I know, Jesse, you've watched and observed as well, Terrell Pryor. How he now has become much more than just a scrambling quarterback. What he does now, Jesse, with those legs and opening it up is unbelievable. I like how he takes off like he's going to run. He'll pull up and throw the ball. And just when you think he's going to pull up and throw it, then he takes off and he runs. So I really think Pryor can be the difference in this ball game.
There are 2.
Craig, I think we've watched the maturation of a pocket passing quarterback through his first 3 seasons playing in college. You're absolutely right. He does such a good job now getting through progressions, reading coverages, working the field, running when he has to, not when he wants to. I think that's been the biggest difference for Ohio State on offense this year.
There are 2 states that have more athletes per capita than you would believe, and one of them South Carolina, the other one's Arkansas. Trust me, Arkansas will always have people that can run and are very athletic, and they'll be as athletic as any team in the country. They may not be as good fundamentally, may not be as big, but they will be athletic.
And Terrell Pryor on the big stage, he always performs extremely well, but I like it better when he runs the ball. I know he's developed just as a pocket passer, but he's more efficient and more effective when he's running the football.
You would have loved it, though, as an offensive lineman, having him behind you, because if you happened to have missed a block, It never happened. You didn't ever miss one, but you'd love to have him take off and run and cover you.
No, I want to know where the quarterback is. 7-step, 5-step drop, he better be exactly where he's supposed to be.
You want to talk about a quarterback can run and throw. The most underrated guy is Tyrod Taylor from Virginia Tech. That guy impressed me against Florida State. I mean, we're just talking about athleticism.
Yeah, he certainly had a great year. And if you're just joining us, our bowl selection special.